Well, not a whole lot to choose from this week in terms of top 25 matchups. We have Oklahoma at UCLA, Michigan State at Arizona State, Penn State at Pittsburgh, Southern Cal at Stanford. Those are really the four best top 25 games this week outside of the SEC. Of course, I covered all the SEC videos yesterday. I'll put a link up here. But in today's video, we're going to talk about all the top 25 games this weekend. I'll talk a little bit about each game, preview it, and give you a pick against the spread. Let's go! That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, and I'm live for you on LouTube today. And thanks for watching, I really appreciate it also. And two, we're going to do the preview video today. This preview video, along with every preview and prediction video that I do this college football season, is sponsored by the people over at betnow.eu. Check them out. There's a link in the description of this video. They'll take care of you for all your college football betting needs this season. If you sign up over on betnow.eu, make sure you enter the bonus code Uncle Lou. They'll give you a 100% bonus on your deposit. That's Uncle Lou, one word, all lowercase letters. Now let's get into today's video. All right, now like I mentioned in the beginning, not a whole lot of marquee games in the top 25 this week. Clemson at Texas A&M, one of the bigger ones I covered yesterday when I did all the SEC teams. Won't be any SEC teams in this video, did all those yesterday. This is going to be all the other top 25 teams that aren't in the SEC. We're going to start towards the top of the poll, work our way down. Here we go. Rutgers at Ohio State. Ohio State is a 35-point favorite in this one. Ohio State routed Oregon State last week, putting up 77 points. Rutgers beat Texas State last week. Texas State, one of the worst teams in America. They're a 1, 2, 3 win team. They're just awful. I would lay the 35 with Ohio State. They're going to score as many points as they want to in this game without question. I don't see any way Ohio State scores less than 40 or 50 points in this game, and I don't see any way Rutgers scores more than about 7 or 10. I'll roll the dice here. Give me Ohio State and lay to 35. All right, staying in the Big Ten, you got New Mexico at 5th-ranked Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a 35.5-point favorite in this one. I'm going to say the same thing I said last week. I love Wisconsin. I picked them to win the Big Ten. I think they're a great team. I love Jonathan Taylor. I think he's the best running back in America. He'll have 200 yards in this game without breaking a sweat. I don't think anybody has any concerns about that. I'm just hesitant to give 5 touchdowns away with Wisconsin. They're not Ohio State. They're not one of these teams that's going to put 60 or 70 points up on the board. They like to pound the ball, run the ball, slow the game down, even under normal circumstances. They get up a 4 or 5 touchdown lead in a game like this, they're really going to sit on the ball. I don't like this game on either side, but if you're going to make me pick one, give me New Mexico. And I'll take the 35.5 points and hold my breath. You got one here now that, I mean, on paper or just the names or whatever, this may look like a good game. UCLA at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a 30-point favorite. Let me repeat that for you. Oklahoma Sooners are a 30-point favorite over Chip Kelly. What a reversal this is for Chip Kelly. Of course, he's used to running teams out of the stadium by 30 and 40 points back when he was at Oregon and going for 2-point conversions in the first quarter for no reason and stuff like that, running 110 plays a game. My, how times have changed. I go ahead and tell you right now, I would take Oklahoma and give the 30 in this game here. Chip Kelly's going to get a dose of his own medicine in this game. UCLA lost last week. They're not a good team. Oklahoma is on an absolute roll. Kyler Murray, I think everybody knew Kyler Murray was good. I don't think anybody thought he would look as good as he looked last week. And the Oklahoma defense, you say what you want about how they played a non-Power 5 team. Lane Kiffin and FAU are going to put some points up this year, and they weren't able to do anything all day last Saturday against Oklahoma. I'm no Oklahoma fan. I hope Lincoln Riley, Kyler Murray, Rodney Anderson and company, the boys over at Oklahoma, put an absolute beating on UCLA and Chip Kelly. I have a feeling that they will. I'll take Oklahoma. Chip Kelly, you can gladly have these 30 points and this L. All right, Ball State at number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a 34.5-point favorite. Why? Not why are they a favorite. Why is this game even being played? Notre Dame will destroy Ball State. I'm not ragging on Notre Dame. He played Michigan last week, so I'm not going to rag on him for playing Ball State. Notre Dame will run away with this game. I wouldn't take Notre Dame here. They're coming off an emotional win last week against Michigan. You often see a letdown after a huge victory like we saw last week with Notre Dame over Michigan. Not enough of a letdown for Notre Dame to lose this game. Notre Dame will win this game, but 5 touchdowns seems like a lot. I'll take Ball State in this one. I mean, are you telling me this game could be what, 42-21? That would be a 21-point game. I mean, even okay, 42-17, 42-14. All those are under the 35. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ball State here. Give me the 34.5 points. I wish this would go to 35. I may wait a day or two. See if some people put some money on Notre Dame and bump this thing up to 35. I'd feel better there. But yeah, give me Ball State though. All right, out to the Pac-12 now. North Dakota at 9th-ranked Washington. No line on this game. North Dakota, a nobody school. This isn't North Dakota State, if that's what you're thinking. Of course, North Dakota State has won. How many titles has North Dakota State won? Have they won 6 of the last 7 or 5 of the last 6 FCS national titles? They could probably give Washington a run for their money. Not North Dakota, though. Washington will roll in this game. No hangover. I mean, yeah, they lost to Auburn. They're back home now. They're licking their wounds. They'll come out. They'll make a statement in week 2 against whatever North Dakota is. I'm not sure, but yeah, Washington will humiliate them. There's no line on this game. One may come out later in the week, but Washington will roll big. All right, now here's an interesting one out in the Pac-12. Southern Cal ranked 17 at 10th ranked Stanford. Stanford currently sits as a 5.5-point favorite in this game. Southern Cal looked better last week than I thought they would. Stanford looked worse last week than I thought they would. Now, they did come away with a win against, who'd they play? San Diego State. Bryce Love really struggled. Did he have 18 carries and 28 yards? I mean, it was something like that. Terrible day for Bryce Love. But their quarterback, Stanford's quarterback, and I'm drawing a blank on his name now, the guy that replaced Keller Christ, who's now the backup at Tennessee, if that tells you anything about Stanford's quarterback situation. He had a good game, though, but Bryce Love really never got out of neutral in this game. Southern Cal, on the other hand, started that freshman quarterback, JT Daniels. He threw for almost 300 yards, 282. They lost. I've talked about this all offseason, but Southern Cal lost, of course, Sam Darnold, their quarterback. They also lost their leading receiver and their leading rusher from last year. But JT Daniel comes out, goes for almost 300 yards. They had a running back, Ware, go for 100. They had several other running backs look good, too, in this game. Stanford's a 5.5-point favorite. Stanford's got a good defense, though. A really good defense. Nothing JT Daniels saw last week is going to prepare him for what he's going to see this week at Stanford. This is truly a hard game to pick here. And I'm not going to lie. I came close to picking Southern Cal on the money line in this game and just riding with Southern Cal to win the game outright, not even needing the 5.5 points. The more I think about it, though, I refuse to believe Bryce Love has somehow forgot how to run the ball during the offseason. I'm not sure what happened week 1. San Diego State does have a pretty good run defense. I'm not trying to say they're elite or Clemson or anything like that, but no excuse for 18 carries, 28 yards, or whatever it was from Bryce Love. I think he fixes that this week. I think JT Daniels struggles this week against Stanford's defense. It's a home game for Stanford. I've really flipped on this one. I'm going to take Stanford, and I'll lay the 5.5. I think Stanford wins this game. All right, another pointless game. William and Mary. I don't know. I guess Joseph was busy, but they're playing at 12th-ranked Virginia Tech. Of course, Virginia Tech coming off huge win on Labor Day night, Monday night, over Florida State. Florida State, Jesus, complete dumpster fire there. No line on this game. Virginia Tech, first home game of the year after playing in Tallahassee a couple of days ago. Crowd will be rocking, even though it's William and Mary first home game. Coming off that huge win, Virginia Tech will roll in this game huge. All right, now here's another interesting one. Now, both of these teams aren't ranked. Only one of them is. A Big Ten game. 13th ranked Penn State at Pittsburgh. Penn State's a 9-point favorite. What happened to Penn State last week against App State? Get out of the comment section with the Michigan 2007 and stuff. That was 13 years ago, okay? App State hasn't beat a division or a Power 5 team since then. They've only come close once or twice against Tennessee, maybe a couple of years ago, and maybe one other time, and now Penn State. Usually they lose by 30, 40 points. I mean, Georgia blew them out a couple of years ago. Georgia's actually blown them out twice in the last 10 years. Pitt, on the other hand, a pretty good team. This was not really a close game last year, but Pitt had a couple of costly turnovers in this game that made the score look worse than it was. I think Pitt's a better team this year than they were last year, and it definitely looks like Penn State is not as good as they were last year. I'm going to take Pitt in this one. I think this will be a close game. I'm not sure Pitt can win it, but 9 points seems like too much to me, especially after what I saw from Penn State last week. I don't know how much of that they can get corrected in 1 week. And now they got to turn around and go on the road, in-state rival Pitt. I'm going to take Pitt. Give me the 9 points, though, just in case, but I'm going to take Pitt. All right, now another team coming off of a big win last weekend over Tennessee, West Virginia. You got Youngstown State at 14th ranked West Virginia. There's no line on this game. Will Greer might throw for 800 yards in this game if they leave him in long enough. Now, Youngstown State is not, I mean, they're a good team for the classification that they're in, but give me a break. They're not going to keep up with West Virginia. Now, they may keep it closer than Tennessee did. Youngstown State may be better than Tennessee, but West Virginia will still win this game big. All right, here's another interesting game here. This is a Big Ten versus Pac-12 matchup. Number 15, Michigan State, goes on the road at Arizona State. Michigan State's a 5.5-point favorite. What happened to the Big Ten last week? I don't know. Ohio State puts up 77 points, but they give up 31 to a terrible Oregon State team. Penn State barely beats App State. Michigan State struggled and won by 1 touchdown in a game where they were huge favorites. You look at Arizona State, on the other hand, I think the expectations were probably a little higher for Arizona than they were for Arizona State. Both schools, of course, with new coaches. Arizona ended up with Sumlin. Arizona State gets that dinosaur from the ESPN desk, Herm Edwards. And what happens? Arizona and Khalil Tate and Kevin Sumlin come out and lay an egg to BYU and get humiliated. Arizona State comes out and dominates and wins week 1. The opposite of what I was expecting, to be honest. I think this will be a good game here. These are two teams that don't often play. The atmosphere will be rowdy at Arizona State. This is going to be a really good game. I think 5.5 is probably close to the right number here. This isn't going to be I mean, if you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have picked Michigan State to win this game by 2 touchdowns plus. After what I saw week 1, I'm not so sure. That makes this a difficult game to pick. I could easily see either team winning this game by a touchdown. I'm going to take Arizona State and just hope that this is a back-and-forth type of game and maybe somebody hits a game-winning field goal or something, but give me Arizona State and the 5.5 points. All right, then you got a team that really impressed me last week and that I may have been way too low on in the offseason. Number 16, TCU on the road at SMU. TCU is a 22-point favorite. I thought they would take a step back this year and maybe finish 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th in the Big 12. After what I saw week 1, they could be the second best team in the Big 12. I think them and West Virginia can give Oklahoma a serious run for their money. Obviously, I think most people's money would still be on Oklahoma to win the Big 12 at this point, but TCU was very impressive. West Virginia has the best quarterback in the Big 12 and looked good against Tennessee. Yes, I know it's Tennessee, but still, TCU will go on the road and handle this game without a problem. I would give the 22 here. I think TCU gets another big win week 2 over in-state rival SMU. TCU rolls big in this game. I'll lay the 22 and sleep just fine. All right, last year's fake national champions have a home game this week after a dominating win on the road week 1 at UConn. South Carolina State travels and plays at Central Florida. Central Florida ranked 19th. No line on this game. South Carolina State is a nothing program. Well, I don't want to put them down. Like, they're an FCS. They're a lower level school. They have no business competing with UCF, and they won't. UCF will win this game. It will be a complete blowout. That quarterback, is it Milton? Is that his name? He'll go absolutely nuts in this game. UCF rolls huge. All right, now this is interesting here. The team that Central Florida blew out last week plays the other Power 5, or non-Power 5, Group of 5 it's called, favorite. UConn at Boise State. Boise State ranked 20th, so one spot behind Central Florida. These are the two teams that everybody has pegged to potentially make a New Year's Six Bowl this year. It'll come down to one of these two teams, I'm sure. UConn on the road at Boise State. Boise State favored by 31.5. I'll take the Smurfs in this one. After what I saw from UConn, they're not a good team. They pretty much gave up against Central Florida. Now they got to turn around. I mean, this just isn't fair. UConn week 1 plays the defending fake national champions from the group of 5, Central Florida. Then turns around this year and plays the favorite from the group of 5 to make a New Year's Six Bowl at Boise State. It's not going to be pretty. Boise State will roll. Don't watch this game at Blue Turf. Will give you eye cancer. But Boise State will win huge. All right, Western Michigan at Michigan. Michigan fell all the way down to 21 after losing at Notre Dame last week. Michigan's a 28-point favorite. Michigan looked really bad. Their offense, is it possible that their offense may have looked worse than last year? I don't know. Shea Patterson looked lost and confused. I'm not sure who to blame for that. He didn't look lost and confused last year at Ole Miss. I've said it a million times. Was he a top 5 quarterback in America? No, but he was way better than anything Michigan has ever had. You plug him into Jim Harbaugh in Michigan's offense up there and against Notre Dame, and he looked just like every other Michigan quarterback we've seen under Jim Harbaugh. He looked like lost and confused, didn't know what he was doing. Not a good game. I think he gets that corrected this week and has a big day against Western Michigan. 28 points, though, is a lot. It is at Michigan, though, first home game. How excited would a crowd be after losing to Notre Dame? I'm not sure. Give me Western Michigan. 28 points is a full 4 touchdowns. Michigan wins this one 47-20. How about that? Win by 27, which is a winner if you take Western Michigan in the 28. All right, and 2 more games to finish it up. No line on either one of these. Savannah State at Miami. Miami ranked 22nd after losing to LSU. Portland State at Oregon. Oregon ranked 23rd. Miami and Oregon will both roll big in this game. Portland State got beat by Nevada last week, like 72-9. Nevada? Really? Yeah, Nevada. So how many points is Oregon going to score on them? I don't know, but it'll be a lot to a little. Same thing with Miami. Whatever problems Miami had against LSU will correct themselves against Savannah State. Miami will roll. Wouldn't surprise me either after all the heat that Malik Rozier's taken after that performance against LSU, if you don't see multiple quarterbacks play in this game for Miami here and see if they can't get that quarterback position figured out. Anyway, that's it for the top 25 games. So I've done all the SEC games now and all the games within the top 25. I'll have another preview out tomorrow involving teams that don't fit either one of those categories, but the games still interest me for whatever reason. So they won't be SEC teams and they won't be top 25. So maybe we'll look at teams like Florida State. Nebraska will have their first game this week after last week's game got canceled. So we'll preview some of the teams that we haven't taken a look at yet over the last 2 days. Today, of course, is Wednesday. Join us on the live show today at 3 p.m. Eastern. We do that show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's a call-in show, so you call in, argue with me, tell me why I'm wrong about everything I say on video all the time. Tell me why your team's winning this weekend. Cry that your team lost last weekend. Whatever it is you want to do, you get the idea. That's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to the Uncle Lou channel if you're not already. I post college football videos almost every single day of the year, and some of them are even watchable. Thank you!